Get ready. You guys ready for this? Come up and kill him, you guys. Come up and kill him.
With the 2006-2007 waterfowl season coming to the end, the guides at Columbia Basin Waterfowl reflected back to a very successful year. Their farms held thousands of birds for most of the season, with many fantastic hunts. They also ended up with hours of excellent video footage and now faced the challenge of doing something with it. They had never digitally edited or produced a video before, so they had their work cut out for them. Alex locked himself in his office and basically taught himself video editing. 2 months later and hundreds of hours of editing, the video Rest When You're Dead was complete. With 2 major sponsors on board, the video soon was reproduced and distributed. After many days and late nights spent in the studio, a much-needed hunting trip was in order. They decided a trip to Saskatchewan for some spring snow geese was going to be their next adventure. They would leave for Canada in the early evening, driving through the night to meet up with their friend Boyd King of King West Outfitters. Their route would take them through 2 states and 3 Canadian provinces. The driving conditions were tough, driving through deer and elk country over the Canadian Rockies on snow and ice-covered roads. 16 hours later, they pulled into their camp. There they met their friend Boyd King. Boyd had been scouting for a couple of days prior to their arrival and had a pretty good idea where the majority of geese were. After checking into the motel, they headed out to scout. The roads were muddy and the fields were full of standing water. The hunting conditions were going to be tough.
Tell you what, these roads are like soup. What you got is you got a bunch of clay and the water sits on top of it and it just kind of makes a slick mess. It's pretty solid, about a couple inches down, but on top of it, it is just slick. So we got to run in 4-wheel drive and just go for it.
After a few hours of slipping and sliding through the Canadian countryside, they finally found what they're looking for: thousands of snow geese. With lots of hard work ahead of them, the following 5 days would be spent chasing geese with very little rest.
bud, kill him. Kill him, bud, kill him. They're out there.
After the snow goose hunt, it was now turkey season. The three hunting guides split up. Steve hunted northeast Washington with a good friend, Craig went to hunt with his childhood friends in his home state of Idaho, and Alex flew down to California and hunted with his good friend Kurt Wilson. They all came back with nice birds. A total of 8 were taken during the spring season with some excellent video. Next thing up, Alex drew an archery bull tag in eastern Washington. When September came around, he headed to the woods with hunting partner Ty Brown. After 5 days of hunting, they managed to team up and take a nice 5-point 250 class Rocky Mountain bull. At one point of the hunt, they had the bull bugling within 5 yards. One week later, after the elk hunt, their annual trip to Canada had arrived. They traded in their bows for shotguns, packed up their hunting gear and video equipment, and headed north.
What you got there, Krager?
Beaver buzz.
Beaver buzz.
It's damn good.
You're desperate to stay awake, aren't you?
That beaver's full of It's not damn good.
It tastes like there's actual hunts of real beaver. It's damn good though.
Don't worry, it was only 3 loonies.
Tears you ride. No, you weren't born yesterday. Nothing, know what's wrong,
Take him. Did it again. I don't think any got out. Take him, boys.
Yeah! Look at my blue.
Yeah.
Look at my blue.
Nice.
Here, come on.
It only took me 2 shots.
Take him!
Nice shot, boy.
I think you helped me there a little.
Big lines of geese coming. Look at them.
Okay. Take him.
Lessers.
I got mine.
I forgot there was. Were you shooting there, bud?
No.
I started way too far over.
Which way?
I started in the middle. There was like 4 birds over there.
There they are.
Alex, you shoot the third one back.
Okay.
Take him.
My calls got hung up that time. Did you hear it?
Counting my sins before I disappear. There's no truth in your cries. I'd be a fool if I let you in for sure. I'd be a fool if I let the sound undone. For I turn my lights out, let the darkness take away my sight. For I sing that solo, the ceiling of my home is a naked sky. All of my life will only black and white. I wanna see the light and gray, wash away my sins, but I feel no regrets. Counting my sins before I disappear.
Kill the two. Kill these two. Kill that single.
Before I turn my lights out, let the darkness take away my sight. Before I sing down solo, the ceiling of my home is a naked sky. For all my lives will only black and white. I went astray to find the gray and wash away my sins, but I feel no regret. Counting my sins before I disappear. Ghosts in my eyes, there's no truth in your eyes.
After 6 days of hunting in Alberta, the boys headed east to Saskatchewan to meet a couple friends, Grant Kuipers and Brandon Schreiber. Grant is the owner and operator of Buck Paradise Outfitters. It's a top-notch guide service that offers world-class deer, bear, and waterfowl hunts.
Kill, guys. That works.
Nice start, boys.
Yeah, came in low there, huh?
That works.
I got him. I got him. Try not to ruin my blind. Nice work, gentlemen. Come on, kill him, guys.
I got one. There's our 4 got up. Kill him, you guys, kill him. Good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Nice one, boy.
If you want to kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him.
Yeah.
Nice shot, nice shot.
Mr. G-Unit.
Get ready to kill him.
Take him, you guys, take him. Nice shot. Watch out, Grant. Ah! Poof.
Good job, Clay. Nice shooting, brother.
What do you got? Stay down?
Yep.
Okay. Kill him.
Kill him.
There were a lot of birds falling out of the sky. That was right there, in.
Wow, look at that frosty stuff. Oh, boy. Wow. That one started dancing. He didn't know if he should just lay down and call her done or what.
That was awesome, guys. You got them all?
That's a go right there. Holy smokes. What was that?
What did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them.
While in Saskatchewan, they met up with fellow pro staffers and good friends, Chad Belding and Clay Belding. The brothers were filming coyote hunting for the new Zinc Calls video Devil Dogs 24/7 series.
Shoot him. Yes! Backdoor coyote. Backdoor coyote, baby. Yes!
Shot him high.
Oh. We walked in here and we wanted to try to get a little bit to our right on this hillside so we can make the wind, which is blowing straight out of the south, a crosswind. Well, we got in here and it was real thick over to our right, so we had no choice but to have it blowing right in our face. And sure enough, about 7-8 minutes into it, Clay spots a coyote coming in behind us trying to wind us. And Grant was able to turn around, didn't even have his shooting sticks, and put one right through the top of his spine. You can see the hole up here on top, and pretty much paralyzed him, and then we finished him off with a second shot. But always try to get a crosswind with you. At your back, you give the coyotes an advantage of getting downwind where you never see him. We're lucky that this one came in. He's probably a 2 or 3 year old, let's see what we got here, female. And she come right in. What are we, Grant, 35 yards?
Yep.
35 yards, Grant busted her again. We got Alex Lanebell from Columbia Basin Waterfowl. He owns a guide service with Craig Ritchie. They're partners in it in Tri-Cities, Washington. And he came along running the camera for us. He's up here filming with Grant for 3 or 4 days for his new waterfowl video, Rest When You're Dead Part 2. Their new video, Rest When You're Dead, the premiere video, just came out and it's awesome. Great footage. They're Avery Pro Staffers, Zinc Calls Pro Staffers, and we'll be doing a lot of coyote hunting with them up in the state of Washington on our property up there. They sure are pretty up here, man.
They are.
Big old Saskatchewan coyote. Look at her.
What'd you eat for breakfast this morning?
Her?
No, you.
I had, what did I have?
I just,
Granola bar.
do you ever have Vegemate? I get it from Australia. I eat it every morning. It really puts your eye senses to the
Your
highest
sponsor too?
Vegemate, yeah. They send me up free stuff every day.
And what is it? Just like, since you don't eat meat, you eat a lot of that stuff to get your...
Well, you just put it on your toast in the morning. It really doesn't taste that good, but whatever I need to do to make my coyote hunting skills better, I'll do it. But Vegemate, there's a coyote on the jar.
Oh, there is?
There is. It's cool. I don't know, maybe they use coyotes for making it. Tastes like a dead coyote. Never ate coyote before.
All right, guys, we're going to get on stand one more time before lunch, and hopefully Grant gets funnier as the day goes on, because right now I'm confused.
Vegemate makes me funny.
If we're in a stand and it's wide open country, we'll stay on a stand for 30, 45 minutes, because those dogs can come from 2 miles, 3 miles away. They have unbelievable hearing. I think they're the second best hearing animal, second to a bull elk. But they can come, if it's a tight area, we'll only stay on for 15 minutes or so. But in an open, real open country, we killed some dogs in Colorado last year, 37 minutes into the stand. So it just depends on the type of country. In the path, right in the path. He's standing in the path coming up. 2 of them. Okay, two. Shoot. 2 of them coming. You're on the first one, right? Yeah. Okay. Shoot him in his head. Right now.
have stopped.
If that other one would have stopped. Yeah, baby. Headache.
Woo! They come right through that cut on that trail, huh?
Nice, perfect. Just perfect.
Right where all the magpies are coming from. Again.
Two of them coming together. I kept trying to look there in my binoculars and I saw 4 magpies out by those green trees back there. And they just stayed in that area. They kept jumping from bush to bush. Sure enough, 2 coyotes come right through there.
Beautiful spot.
Killed the female out of the bunch. Oh, she's heavy too. Oh, that's a big coyote right there.
Okay, it's our last day in Saskatchewan. We're headed home. This is 20 gauge day. Today we're going to be using 220 gauge Montefeltros, Manelli, shooting heavy shot. Let's see what we can do. The T2 coming in. Call it, Craig.
Shoot him, guys.
Go,
Shoot him.
go.
Good shooting, guys. Good job.
Get up. Get up. Everyone, get up. Oh, look at these ones in front of us.
Kill him.
Oh.
Oh!
Get him?
He broke his wing.
There you go.
Kill him.
Kill him!
Oh, what a shot! What a shot! Did you see that heavy shot? Dude! Wow! Heavy shot.
A heavy shot does work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A heavy shot was last
Heavy
now.
shot just fantastic.
Was that you way out there?
Yeah. Heavy shot.
Here, you better take this gun. Here.
See that one up there on the ground, that chicken up there? See these three out front, low?
You think I'm down with that? Take him, guys, take him.
Columbian Basin waterfowl guys, you know, are hanging out. They're great guys. They're always easy going, wanting to have fun, and they're all about hunting. You know, it's just about having a good time. It's not always about killing stuff. It's getting out there, enjoying what you're doing, and having fun while you're doing it. Really, it's just enjoyable being around them, and they're great guys to hang out and hunt with.
I didn't even see the other two land. Where'd they come from?
They were
Five-pack landed right here. Craig just turned to the left and.
Very nice. You tell anybody. You just want to get a triple over there on the left. Hey guys, 5 out front. Yeah, 5 don't worry about it. Decoys to the right. Decoys to the left.
Can you believe these guys give me a hard time like that?
Come up and kill him, come up and kill him.
That was all you guys. I didn't play.
Go on, kill him, kill him, kill him. Nice shot, Traeger.
This one over here.
Kill him, kill him.
On your head, Craig. On your head.
Oh man, he's coming good too.
You ready, Ian?
Got you, Ian. Kill him, kill him. Nice!
What the? Hey!
I didn't shoot. Let me.
Ian, if you, hey, you try the, hey.
Oh my goodness, you tried to kill Clay. That's awesome.
Unbelievable.
Seal.
Right up front. When he gets to me. Yeah, they're on him. Chad, kill him,
Brad.
Chad,
Kill him. There you go. Good shot.
Nice work.
Dead in the air.
killed something.
Killed them.
I killed him.
Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him. Nice.
There you go. Ah!
3 weeks after returning from Canada, Alex and Craig loaded up Craig's truck once again and headed back to Canada in pursuit of a trophy whitetail. On the second to the last day of the trip, Craig was able to take a nice 150 class whitetail buck. As the boys were headed back to the States, they got a call from Steve. He'd been watching a cornfield which was holding about 1,000 lesser and greater Canadas. They raced home in hopes of getting one more video hunt before their guiding began.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think
Okay, come up and kill. Right up front. Right up front, come on. Right there, kill him. Kill it. Come and kill it.
Oh! Nice.
These other ones are coming back across the field. From the left.
Come on, kill him. Kill him, kill him!
Stiff, John.
What do you think?
Anytime.
Kill him! Kill him!
We didn't have time to hang the deer. We loaded the decoy trailer up, went out, just knocked out a 5-man 11 honkers in an hour. That's getting it done.
Just another whisper, how clever. Then all your fingers in my eyes, you always saw it all coming, I'm not surprised. I don't want you to think that you owe me. You only owe it to yourself. Just another whisper, then care I still don't pretend. You said, hold me, love me, and then you walk away.
Don't kill them, you guys. Come up and kill them.
Tell me where do we go? Tell me where do we go wrong?
Come up and kill them, boy. Come up and kill them.
Tell me how long we are gonna fall.
Show them, shoot them, shoot them, shoot them.
How clever. Then all your fingers in my eyes, you always saw it all coming, I'm not surprised. I don't want you to think that you owe me. You only owe to yourself. Just another whisper, then care, still don't pretend. All that trivial things aside. Open out and let it out. Tell me where do we go? Tell me where do we go wrong? Tell me how long we are gonna fall. On the train of things aside. Open up. You said, hold me, love me, and then you walk away. Tell me where do we go? Tell me where do we go wrong? Tell me how long we are gonna fall. Tell me where do we go? Tell me where do we go wrong? Tell me how long we are gonna fall.
After 7 solid weeks of guiding, the Basin crew boarded a plane and flew across the country to Maryland. There, they would hunt the eastern shore and famed Chesapeake Bay, where the rich traditions of waterfowl hunting began back in the late 1800s. They wanted to see where the market hunters took their harvest many years ago and visit the Waterfowl Decoy Museum, taking a trip back in time where giant rafts of canvasbacks filled the bay and greater Canadas filled the skies.
I'm hungry for life, and I'm no longer afraid of the rain. It's hard to decide where there's money, there's walk of the shade. I'm walking and talking, and my mind is gone. No longer walk of the shade. Hungry for life, and I'm no longer afraid of the rain.
Missing Alex and
No, Alex is right here. Right there.
I didn't see him.
Yeah, how's it going? Sandwich or something? All right, back. Okay. You got Alex want a sandwich or something? Let me grab it real quick.
Help get some scrapple.
Yeah, you know what gravel is?
You don't even know.
Gravel's goddamn. That's the other white meat. Gravel.
Rusty! Hi, Rusty. See you later, man. Nice seeing you. He almost wrecked the whole morning right there. I mean, for him.
Feeders, put a lot of feeders out today.
On the single, the high one, yeah, coming in. On him. You on him?
How'd you do? Was he right in the hole?
You got it. Oh, got it.
Oh, you know, it's good to let the rest of the guys know I shoot this goose.
I'm done. Traeger, you're up.
Okay, see the pair? Look to the pair.
These two are on. These two are on. Get on, get on.
Yeah, Jack got it.
That's the other side of the bitch.
There's another one, Cup, getting out of decoys, Cup. You better get him.
Georgie, get him!
Cup, you better get him. All right, that's yours. You got one more left, brother. You got one. Hey, that's his. I'm telling you right now. That ain't my man, Alex. That was his.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, all right.
All right,
You got one more now, buddy.
I won't call you Satchmo anymore.
Okay, don't call me Satchmo. That hurt me. That hurt me when you called me Satchmo. That really hurt. Because my grandmother's name's Satchmo.
I don't know what be.
You don't be called by my grandmother. That's a woman's name.
And she's got
Satchmo
whiskers.
is a woman's name. That's yours, bro. Get ready, Cup. Get ready, Cup. Clean it. You want him, Cody?
I'm on him.
You want him, Cody? You want him?
Yep.
All right, good. Good, guys.
Two-shot Jones. I need one
Just
calibration
one.
shot
The only one that was there.
just
The
to get
other
my
one come
windage
off
correct
across the left.
and to warm them. I mean, I think this goose hunting sometimes a little bit easy. Give them one shot, warning shot if you don't get out.
Two more. Well, I got a box of shells left. I should be able to kill one more with that. Alex kind of gets me kind of nerve-wracked, really. To be honest with you, if you could, don't pull a Freddy on me. Okay, I'm on him. I'm on a cup. Don't get excited. You got a decoy down.
I'm on these two.
Why didn't somebody shoot the other one? I wasn't trying to be greedy, but...
My fault.
Did you get that, Alex?
Yep.
I just listened to Alex. I didn't know because I was expecting one of them to shoot when nobody's hiding right here. I'm like, I'm not letting my boy down. I mean, did you get it? That was all right.
I'm old and slow. Give me a break.
No, I did. I was just.
You'll be old someday.
Not today.
You want to put it? You want to put it?
Yep.
Tell me when.
Better kill him.
Oh, that's a really bad thing. No, he did a little loop-de-loo on me. You're gonna see in the footage the bird kind of did a loop-de-loop when he did the swoop.
You're gonna see in the footage.
That's out on the left-hand side of it.
You're gonna see in the footage.
You'll see in the footage. It's obvious. You're gonna see in the footage the bird kind of did a loop-de-loop when he did the swoop. That's out on the left-hand side of it.
You're gonna see in the footage.
Let's take a look at this loop-de-loop, shall we?
Now.
How about if we try in slow motion? I don't know about you guys, but I didn't see no loop-de-loop.
I mean, this is a lot of pressure here in Maryland. You know, we got a lot of people hunting these farms and stuff, and they're small parcels, and there's a lot of pressure on them. But we came to the wheat field today, even though it's 1st of January and it's really cold. A lot of guys would have ran to a cornfield. Geese are natural grazers, and we chose the wheat field. It was a little hard to hide, but we chose wheat field because we knew they're going to come here. They've been coming here day in and day out, feeding on this grass. So we took it upon ourselves to say, instead of going to cornfield because it's so cold, let's jump on this wheat. And once that sun got up and burned that frost off, you saw the geese come in.
Yeah, and it's actually a lot like in back out west. I mean, the same thing with us. When it's warm, wet, they're going to hit that grain, and when it gets cold, they hit the.
Okay, let's see what we had to be interrupted for. Oh, that is sweet. Can you stand up?
That's how Maryland roll. Maryland roll like that.
Oh, God.
Damn, Superman. I'm getting ready to show you the triple X.
Okay, let's go back to that.
Yeah.
I can't do an interview after that.
I wasn't even paying no attention.
They got it.
I was hungry before this, and he just put me in the wrong. Are they your wives? Are they your wives on the roost?
If you want video of Blue Comet, just say so.
Blue Comet. Russ, look at Superstar.
Is that your underoos?
Yeah.
Jump in the water.
Look at.
I didn't even realize they made blue.
Yeah.
Is that special?
He's so upset that he's so upset he's not on film.
His friend, yeah, he's always a hand. He always want to get on film. He's so worried about getting
He's so
on
worried
film.
about being on camera. He wants to make the outfit.
Hey, you're supposed to put the potato in the front of your pants.
I'm like, I was always why the girls called him Peanut. I didn't know why until now.
Look, the thing is, some of us are working, so we got to shed clothes because we're working.
Really? Well, you gotta work.
I mean, we're not over here talking about why we went to a winter wheat field. We're just working. Blue collar. You know, we're going to run down here real quick and drop our geese off to the pickers real quick. A lot of times when we shoot 5, 10, 20 geese, just to save a little bit of time, we'll take them to a picker, and then once we get them picked and clean, we do a thing we call the Christmas harvest. The Christmas harvest is a bunch of guys get together, we'll harvest a bunch of ducks and geese, get them clean and processed, and then take them to families that are not as fortunate as us. That way the food gets utilized. We'll take them to a homeless shelter. We have one homeless shelter. We probably take anywhere from 100 to 150 geese a year to that shelter, and they use it throughout the winter to feed the homeless people. But for the most part, we take them to these pickers, and so it's processed and cleaned properly, and then we can distribute them to people, families that maybe don't have money to buy Christmas presents for their kids or something, but that dinner is something special to them, and then they can take that money and put it towards Christmas presents. So it's just something good to do, and it lets people know that we're just not out there killing geese to kill geese. We're out there to give back to the community. Geese get picked? Yeah, that's right. We'll pick them up tomorrow. We don't have to get them. We'll come back tomorrow.
12 is 54.
We're going out to dinner now. We pick them ourselves, but we want to.
Who wants to do that?
Oh, they know all that. I mean, that's all part of the game.
Yes.
All right. Already paid for it. You got to fill out your name. Go back, there's a little pay rack, fill out your name, hunting license number, 2 geese.
I don't remember you.
One or two. 1 or 2 every 5 minutes.
You ever find any bands if you guys forget?
I haven't seen any banded geese this year. I've seen some banded ducks.
That people forget that they got them on there and you can't?
Well,
you ever seen that?
Oh yeah. But what we do when we find them, we just put them right into the bird.
You're an honest man.
Well, that's how we build our business.
Yeah, there you go.
What time is it, Russ? When they come out yesterday, they come all at once, or they come out in bunches after bunches after bunches?
Bunches.
See them coming out.
Give a big jag them up now.
Yeah. That gunfire didn't help. Pretty close to the roost, actually.
This block right in front of us.
Might be able to break something out of there.
Sorry about that, I didn't even see him. Oh, that's okay. I was calling to them, and all of a sudden I looked, there's this freaking single just... Kill him, kill him. I'm done. I think Rusty and I both tagged that back one, yeah. I was trying to get the one closest to the center.
They call Mark out here real quick.
He's probably asleep.
He ain't asleep. We just woke him up.
Yeah.
That was like an alarm clock. Welcome to our party. We're having a little party in the corn. We're inviting some geese to join us.
I'm all about that.
I didn't even hear y'all shoot.
Right up front, guys. Right up front. Nice block. Here we go. Nice block out front. Kill him, Rusty. Kill him, Rusty. Kill him.
Nice.
Oh, that's a long shot. It was a long shot.
Yeah. I'm done. Dang it. That wasn't right on this. Oh well, I'm done. Gregor, you want to get out, load up? Oh, he's tripped.
You what?
He's tripped.
I'm on him.
They laid a hammer on him.
That was nice.
I thought he was going to bug out on there.
Now y'all played it right. Just plucked them a little bit and moaned them.
Wow. What kind of choke we shooting in that shoe scuff them thing?
Oh, I don't know what we got on there.
That thing got hammered.
Oh, we got on there. Pretty bird.
From the top to the bottom.
No, I would have had more cover if I was standing up next to the building. I was standing in the middle of the open.
This is fun to hunt these honorable geese. He worked in good.
He did, real nice.
They came in, that one came in nice.
Kill him, you
guys killed.
One thing the boys had to check off their to-do list before they died was to visit the Decoy Museum in Havre de Grace. They took advantage of the no hunting on Sundays and made the hour journey north to visit this historic museum.
See, this is obviously handmade. This is not a factory thing. I would think it'd probably be very dangerous. That's handmade. But you'll see in this little boat how they would lash a punt gun down, and then they would sneak up at night and sneak up and kill rafting ducks on the water.
Most of them were European-made guns. Then they.
These were handmade, obviously local, but most of the punt guns were European.
That's a pretty big gun.
Yeah, that's a big gun.
Well, they all had to be lashed down.
Right.
Obviously.
And how would they load those guns? I mean, what was their...
Well, I'm told that they use pretty much close to a pound of black powder. A lot of people will tell you they put nails in it and all sorts of things. They put shot in there. They wanted to get ducks, so they put shot in.
Because they were selling those ducks. Where would they sell them to?
Well, they would sell them in Philadelphia, put them on a train, sold barrels of ducks down, send them up to restaurants in New York, Philly, wherever. The guys today still body boot out on the flats, but they wear wetsuits and that sort of thing, so they can, because that water temperature is very cold.
And they would just have a silhouette that was ready to hold their gun and their shells.
Yeah. See these photographs?
And what about the V-boards? That was kind of big back then?
That was just a way of getting 3 geese together without having to carry 3 separate ones that folded up into one. V-boards have been around for a long time, and I don't know that anyone uses them today, but people still use silhouettes, and of course they use composites.
Yeah, I see. They still use them over on the short cane bridge and stuff. I've seen some of them.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're quite welcome.
We're going to walk around with the different displays.
Please stop back and see us again.
Oh, absolutely. Basically, that type of boat right there, they would basically, in the evening, when it's got dark, they would actually pole up or push themselves up into amongst the ducks, and what would happen is they'd have a light at the front of the boat, and that basically light would kind of stun them, just make them move out of the way, and pushing the boat would kind of get amongst them. Once it got in position, someone would pull that string, usually just one person in the boat, and it would fire all the barrels at one time, which would push the boat backwards. In a situation like this, they would probably get 1, 2, maybe 3 dozen ducks in one shot. They would take those ducks there and basically send them to different restaurants up in Philadelphia and stuff, and they would actually have them in the early 1800s. They would salt them down, send them with shad, other things, and send them up there for restaurants. But once the restaurants, they found people started coming that wanted to hunt this, instead of doing that for restaurants, they started making more money just actually leasing out the boats. They would do it on a weekly rental or sometimes a monthly rental, and they were making a lot more money that way.
Right on.
In the early years, in the market hunter years, the canvasback was one of the most sought after birds. It was due to the fact that there was a lot of eelgrass and celery grass that grew out in the flats, and that was a sought after bird for a lot of the restaurants. But it wasn't always called the canvasback. It became canvasback is when the market hunters would actually put their goods in a barrel, salt them down. It could be with shad, it could be with oysters. They would put a piece of canvas in between the two, and they would tell the boat captain, make sure I get my canvas back. So that name kind of stuck with them for canvasback. So to this day, that's why we call them the
canvasbacks. Make sure I get my canvas back.
Make sure I get my canvas back.
After spending a day at the museum, the boys wanted to experience a Chesapeake Bay diver and sea duck hunt for themselves. The next day, they drove south to Kent County and met Tom Marvel. Tom is a native Eastern Shoreman who runs Chesapeake Guide Service. Tom is a fourth-generation hunting guide and fellow Avery Pro staffer. Back in the 20s, his great-grandfather started the guide service in Kent County long before it was declared the goose capital of the world. Tom still guides on the same property his father, grandfather, and great-grandfather guided on. Avery Territory Manager Wayne Radcliffe and Avery Pro staffer George Zaratka offered to take them out on a sea duck hunt in the bay using a layout boat and V-boards. After their adventure on the East Coast, they came back to farms full of ducks and geese. They hunted almost every day for the last 2 weeks, ending their Washington season strong.
That works.
On the left. You got him, Cody?
Yep.
Come on, kill him. Nice work, gentlemen.
Good rest up one?
Yeah. Well, Brian. Those ones decided to drop straight down.
Oh yeah, perfect. Right in front of us too.
Oh yeah, look at that flock. Wow. Run, Kyle.
Here comes a good flock.
Oh, I got him.
Kill him, you guys. Kill him.
That's y'all.
Kill him, you guys.
Kill him, kill him. It's back.
Nice late shot there.
I hit that speck.
Did you click? I didn't
Sail,
cycle my
he's dead.
second shot.
Watch it, film that speck.
On the right. See these right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You want him?
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Kill him. God. Nice.
Yep. Kill him?
Yeah.
Kill him, kill him.
Oh.
You on the single? Kill the single? You want to kill it?
Destroy it. Destroy it.
Riley was on him too, so that'll look, you got that from 2 angles. Good job, Kyle. You're quite a dog.
I'm on the pair. I'm on the pair.
Alex has got him.
I got him.
Come and smoke the pair.
I'm on him.
You see how long it takes for that shot to hit?
Hit? Yeah.
You hear how hard it hit?
Holy cow. It's like you go boom. This wind's amazing.
Run, Kyle.
Why? More geese coming, Kyle.
Hey, we got shells down there?
I'm out. Seriously, I have 2 shells.
Heavy shot.
Oh, yeah.
They look so close, Craig, every time we come up.
Oh, I know.
Look where they're falling.
I know. Look where they're at.
They're falling out there 100 yards.
Here they come.
I love it.
Man up. Let's go. More out.
They're all over you. Look behind you. You got 10 of them coming. You're all right. Lay down.
Kettle up.
Hurry, you gotta get in your blind.
Come on.
Yeah, just throw them down. Jump in the blind.
Let's go. They're maple leafing all over us.
You guys go get them next time.
You got 3. You got, seriously, we got them coming here. You got them?
single.
Okay.
I'm on that single.
Cody, kill it.
We're hurting for shells.
It doesn't help when I come out with 3.
I know. Come on. I'm gonna get out Kyle's Nerf gun in a minute.
I got all these yellow shells that don't fit in that 12 gauge. What's going on?
Leave your yellow shells at home. Yeah, well, you got a whole blind bag full of 20 gauge shells.
Because I've been shooting my 20 gauge.
Yeah, they're just, whatever they're picking out, they pick out at that same distance every time.
Got a stapler.
Oh, the smell of
You're going to have to
blood,
start
man.
stapling them in the air. I'm on it too.
They're looking good. Are you on it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're gonna do it.
I am on them.
Beautiful.
Do not come in here and do that to us. We will hit you. Kyle just called those in all by himself.
Right on.
Good job, dude. Good job.
Hey, Kyle, wait.
Good
buddy.
catch.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
That's a nice bird there.
Yeah, Yeah, baby.
May 15th. This is our third time trying to kill this bird. And if Alex pans on the canyon here, we tried to kill him from the top of that rim across the way there, from that top group of trees on the top, but he just wouldn't make the break and come up there. So we decided today to get right in his kitchen, in his living room. And he was roosted probably 150 yards, 100 yards maybe, right down there to that. He was sitting on that naked limb right there, Alex, in fact, coming out of that tree right there. But anyway, we decided to get in his kitchen, and let me tell you, it worked. He come strutted right up, 2 hens came up, and they were feeding. I mean, they couldn't be, I don't think we're 10 yards from our decoys, and they were feeding right next to him, and then he come in full strut, just walking right up the hill like he owned this canyon, which he did. But I got news for him. I own him now, and he's got to ride home in my truck. And this is my second bird for the year, so basically I'm done turkey hunting other than taking Alex, and we're gonna go see if we can get another one, and I'm on the camera and have a good time with it. But I couldn't be happier. It's a real nice Rio Grande turkey, probably a 3-year-old bird, got a pretty nice beard, real nice tail on him, sure looked pretty in the camera, I can tell you that. Anyway, that's what that's all about. Now we get to walk out of this hole.
Sitting on the edge of a dream, lonely all the time. You wonder why. Stuffing all your memories in the garbage bag. The big grown eye. Forget the blues I've given you, and so will I. Before we lie, before we cry, and we don't know why. Sail away. I don't really want to leave. I don't really want to leave. No, no, no. So stay. I don't really want to leave. Oh no. Sitting on the edge of the screen, hopeful all the time that something fine will come right along your way. All you have to do now is just pick it up. Forget the
Here I am wearing shorts. What an idiot.
Still a bit too. You're taking a shortcut. That's where you want me to
The
go.
navigator got us lost.
This way.
Holy cow.
Stop for Railway Avenue.
Stay on the main road, whatever you do.
Whichever main road.
Do not end up on a dirt road somewhere.
We said we were going to start to panic when we hit the dirt roads.
You guys said that. I'm not panicking yet.
Where we
I've
at?
seen these Google
Oh, we're on the
deals.
dirt road.
I've seen the Google shirts before.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm pretty sure I was drugged and placed here against my will. Because, Alex, I had a date tonight at 6 o'clock. And there's no cell phone to cancel the date, so she's going to be ready. She's probably going to be dressed in a Victoria's Secret thing. And I'm not going to be there. Some other guys probably show up. So I'm his date tonight. So Alex is my date, and I'm here packing out a friggin' elk off of that hillside. Hey, is that camera heavy?
Bastards.
I want to be the cameraman. This year we came up to this year. You're gonna talk now. Needless to say, I froze my tail off. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. Come do it. Don't be a loser like Craig. And I'm snorting.
That's awesome. Look at all those.
Train of turkeys. It's the turkey train. We belong on that train. I can't see. I can't see.
Who was that? Seriously.
I can't see.
Seriously, yeah.
I'm blind.
I can't breathe.
I'm blind.
Oh, somebody ate deer guts. Oh. I don't care about the geese right now.
Is that you, Paul? Reach your hand out, Paul. Reach your hand out and touch me. Where you at? I can't see.
Man, that was nasty, dude.